It was supposed to be the night of their lives. The night they had all been waiting for. Graduation night. The grand hall was decorated with glittering lights, the air filled with laughter and music. The students, dressed in their finest attire, moved gracefully across the dance floor, their faces glowing with excitement and anticipation. It was a night of dreams, a night where anything seemed possible. But no one knew the horror that was about to unfold. Beneath the surface of this joyous occasion, something dark and sinister was lurking, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Amy, the prom queen, stood in the center of it all. Her smile radiant, her presence commanding the attention of everyone in the room. Her tiara shining bright under the chandelier. It was a symbol of her triumph, a testament to her popularity and grace. She was the envy of every girl and the desire of every boy. But behind those admiring glances there were also whispers of jealousy and resentment. But behind that perfect smile there was a secret. A secret that Amy had kept hidden for so long. A secret that threatened to destroy everything she had worked for. A secret that was about to turn the night into a nightmare. As the night wore on, the atmosphere began to change. The laughter grew quieter, the music more haunting. As the clock struck midnight, the lights flickered, casting eerie shadows across the room, then went out completely. The grand hall was plunged into darkness, the only sound the collective gasp of the crowd. The room fell into an eerie silence. It was as if time itself had stopped, holding its breath in anticipation of what was to come. Whispers floated through the darkness. Panic set in. The once jubilant crowd was now a sea of confusion and fear. And then a scream. A blood-curdling scream that pierced the silence, sending chills down the spines of everyone present. A spotlight flickered on, illuminating the stage. All eyes turned to the source of the scream, their hearts pounding in their chests. Amy was there, her eyes wide with terror. She stood frozen, her body trembling, her mind racing to comprehend the horror unfolding before her. In her hand she held a bloodied knife, but it wasn't her blood. The crimson liquid dripped from the blade, staining the floor beneath her. She looked down at her dress, now stained red. The crowd gasped. Their faces contorted in shock and disbelief, and the whispers grew louder. Fear and confusion spread like wildfire, the once joyous celebration now a scene of chaos and dread. "Help me!" she cried, her voice trembling with desperation. But no one moved. They were paralyzed with fear, unable to comprehend the horror before them. They were paralyzed with fear. The room seemed to close in around them, the walls echoing with their silent screams. Suddenly a shadowy figure appeared behind Amy. It moved with an unnatural grace, its presence sending a chill through the room. was tall, almost inhuman. Its form shrouded in darkness, its movements deliberate and menacing. Its eyes glowing a sinister red. It reached out, its hand extending towards Amy with a terrifying intent. And with one swift motion, Amy's scream was cut short. The room was filled with a deafening silence, the air thick with tension. Blood splattered across the stage as the figure vanished into the darkness. The once beautiful decorations now tainted with the evidence of a gruesome act. The lights flickered back on, casting a harsh light on the scene of horror that had taken place, revealing the horror that had taken place. The room was filled with gasps and cries, the reality of the situation sinking in. Amy lay lifeless on the stage. Her once radiant smile now a haunting memory. Her tiara now a twisted mockery of her former glory. It lay askew on her head, a symbol of the night's tragic turn. The students fled in terror, their screams echoing through the hall, their minds unable to process the horror they had witnessed. The hall echoing with their screams. The once vibrant celebration now a scene of chaos and despair. Some say it was a ghost from the past, seeking revenge, a spirit wronged by the school returning to claim justice. Others believe it was the spirit of someone wronged by the school, back to claim what was theirs, a presence that had been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Back to claim what was theirs. A force that could not be stopped, a vengeance that could not be denied. But one thing was clear. That graduation night would be remembered not for its joy, but for the horrific tragedy that unfolded. That graduation night would be remembered not for its joy, but for the horrific tragedy that unfolded. A night that was meant to be a celebration of achievement and new beginnings, now forever tainted by the memory of a gruesome act. But for the horrific tragedy that unfolded. The events of that night would be etched into the minds of all who were present, a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface. And the Prom Queen's tragic end would haunt the school forever. Her story would be told and retold, a cautionary tale for future generations. So next time you celebrate a milestone, remember Amy's story, because sometimes the past is never truly dead, and it has a way of catching up to you. The past is never truly dead, and it has a way of catching up to you. The shadows of our actions can linger, waiting for the right moment to re-emerge, and it has a way of catching up to you. The echoes of our past can reverberate through time, affecting the present in ways we can never predict. Sweet dreams if you can. And remember, sometimes the most beautiful nights can hide the darkest secrets. So as you lay your head down to sleep, be mindful of the shadows that may lurk in the corners of your mind. Sweet dreams if you can. And remember, sometimes the most beautiful nights can hide the darkest secrets. So as you lay your head down to sleep, be mindful of the shadows that may lurk in the corners of your mind.